What if I told you that your entire existence might just be an accident? That everything you've ever done, your dreams, your thoughts, your very consciousness, could just be a random event in a chaotic universe? Or is there something deeper, something that suggests life has meaning and purpose? Today, we're diving into one of the oldest and most mind-bending questions. Is life an accident? Buckle up, because we'll explore science, philosophy, religion, and the arguments of atheists to find out. Let's start with science. The dominant theory about our origins is the Big Bang theory. About 13.8 billion years ago, a singularity expanded, forming space, time, and matter. Fast forward a few billion years, and here we are, sipping coffee and questioning reality. But was this process completely random? The fine-tuning argument suggests that the physical constants of the universe, gravity, electromagnetism, the nuclear forces, are so precisely calibrated that if they were even slightly different, life wouldn't exist. Scientists like Paul Davies argue that this makes the universe seem suspiciously well arranged. On the other hand, the multiverse theory suggests that there are infinite universes, and we just happen to be in the one where conditions are right. Then there's abiogenesis, the process by which life supposedly arose from non-living matter. Chemist Jack Szostak argues that under the right conditions, organic molecules could have self-organized into life. But even with decades of research, no one has been able to recreate this process exactly. Another mind-blowing concept is the anthropic principle, which suggests that the reason we observe a universe capable of supporting life is because we exist to observe it. This is a bit of a philosophical twist within science itself. Are we just here by coincidence? Or did the universe somehow intend for life to arise? And of course, there's evolution, a process that builds complexity over time. Charles Darwin's theory of natural selection explains how simple, random mutations can lead to highly sophisticated beings. But if evolution is truly unguided, does that mean life is accidental? Or does the very fact that it works suggest an underlying order? One of the oldest perspectives on life's purpose comes from Aristotle, who argued that everything in the universe has a telos, or an inherent purpose. Just as an acorn's natural goal is to become an oak tree, Aristotle believed humans also have an intrinsic purpose, to achieve eudaimonia, or flourishing through virtue and wisdom. This suggests that life is not random but guided by an internal drive towards fulfillment and excellence. On the other hand, Friedrich Nietzsche took a drastically different view. He challenged the very notion of inherent purpose, famously proclaiming that God is dead. He believed that traditional sources of meaning, such as religion and moral absolutes, were no longer viable in a modern secular world. Nietzsche proposed that instead of relying on an external meaning, humans must create their own values and embrace the will to power, the drive to assert and define oneself in a meaningless universe. Then we have Albert Camus and the philosophy of absurdism. Camus argued that human beings naturally seek meaning, but the universe offers none in return, creating a fundamental conflict and absurdity. However, instead of despairing, Camus suggested we should embrace the absurd and find joy in defying it. He illustrates this idea with the myth of Sisyphus, a character doomed to roll a boulder up a hill for eternity. According to Camus, we must imagine Sisyphus as happy, not because his task has meaning, but because he chooses to rebel against meaninglessness by continuing his struggle. But what if life isn't meaningless, just deterministic? Thinkers like Pierre-Simon Laplace proposed a mechanistic determinism, arguing that if we knew all the forces in the universe and the exact position of every atom, we could predict the future with absolute certainty. This challenges the idea of free will, suggesting that all our choices, actions, and even thoughts are the result of prior causes beyond our control. If this is true, does it mean life is just an accident following inevitable laws of physics? Or does the very structure of cause and effect imply an inherent order? Another perspective comes from existentialists like Jean-Paul Sartre, who took Nietzsche's ideas further. Sartre argued that existence precedes essence, meaning that humans are born without predetermined purpose and must define themselves through choices and actions. To Sartre, this radical freedom can be terrifying, but also empowering. We are the sole authors of our meaning, for better or worse. Interestingly, the Stoic philosophers, such as Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, took a more pragmatic approach. They believed that while we may not control the grand design of the universe, we can control how we respond to it. Through discipline, virtue, and resilience, we can create a meaningful life, even if we can't prove its ultimate purpose. At the heart of all these perspectives is the question, does meaning come from the universe, or do we create it? If there is no objective purpose, is it enough for us to act as if there is one? Philosophers continue to debate this, but one thing remains clear. Whether life is an accident or not, how we respond to that question shapes the way we live.
Religion offers a starkly different view. The Quran, Surah Al-Mulk 67:2, states, "He who created death and life to test you as to which of you is best in deeds." Meaning, life isn't random, it's a test with purpose. Christianity echoes this with Jeremiah 29:11, where God says, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you." In Hinduism, life is part of a cosmic cycle, samsara, where souls undergo rebirth based on karma. So in these religious views, life is anything but an accident. It's intentional, designed, and meaningful. Atheists like Richard Dawkins argue that the universe has no designer. In his book, The Blind Watchmaker, he explains that natural selection creates the illusion of design without needing an intelligent creator. Meanwhile, Carl Sagan said, "We are a way for the universe to know itself." In other words, we are just chemical reactions in motion, experiencing consciousness due to the complexity of our brains. And then there's simulation theory. What if we are in a simulated universe created by an advanced civilization? Think the Matrix, but with even fewer rules. If true, does that mean we were designed after all? So where does this leave us? Science gives us probability. Philosophy gives us perspectives. Religion gives us purpose. Atheism challenges that purpose. But the question remains, is life truly an accident, or does meaning exist beyond our perception? Here's the twist. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe, as Camus said, meaning is what we make it. If we act like life is meaningful, then for all practical purposes, it is.